In a room full of glitter, yarn and glue, there's a wild little whirlwind tearing right through. She's got half-knit scarves and decomposed dreams, a hot glue gun and impossible schemes.
Fabrics flying, buttons ring from the sky. She says I'll finish it later, but we both know that's a lie. She's not here for your order, your schedule, your flow. She's a snarky little sprite that we all call Mo. I glow, leaving chaos wherever she goes. She's the queen of to be finished, but her magic's never diminished, 'cause Mo's gonna craft till the moon's hanging low. Yeah, sassy and snarky and slightly.
Hey, you guys, it's Mo. I did want to show you the thread organizer at the start of this. I know I had showed it to you guys earlier on a setup and what's in a kit, how to set up, but I really like this and I do use them myself. Now, as you can see, the white's a little over full, but it definitely helps with keeping all your thread, especially this particular kit has 45 different threads in it, different colors, so it is very, very many different colors. And for this kit, it seems that a lot of the colors are very similar, close together, so I have been a fan of those particular type of organizers for a long time. Now, I will tell you that my cat, Thor, one of the 5 furry overlords, does very much like the plastic foam on it. He has destroyed a great many, so do hide them if your cat is like that. Now, I have released the tension at this particular time because my goal with this project is to not leave any orphan squares behind. I have about 4 projects that have, orphan square, persnickety squares that I have to finish. So this project, I am being much more mindful that I just don't feel like doing that. Going back, and I don't want to add to any more projects that need finish work. I want to be able to show you guys how to rinse out the dye and stuff like that from a stamped kit. So I am working diligently to make sure that I have no orphaned squares, no persnickety squares. And what I mean by orphan squares is there'll be, one color that there's like maybe 1 or 2 squares, and I sometimes don't feel like going off and snipping a little piece of thread to just fix that. But in this particular case, I am trying to be completely on top of it. And I bet you're probably wondering why all the Sailor Moon. So I figured I would tell you kind of why I fell in love with Sailor Moon. Now, Sailor Moon, I'm working on her right now. She is the titular character, as you would so guess. But basically, she's a 13-year-old girl. When you meet her at the beginning of the anime, she's late. She's chronically terrible at schoolwork. She's generally only thinking about food and sparkly things. Basically, she's me if I had a close friend group when I was in middle school. Now, there are some problematic things if you're like, oh, I'm a parent and I'd love to let my kid watch this. Now, in the anime, she's 13 years old and she's going out with what is ostensibly a grown-ass man, but they were also together in a previous lifetime. Now, how you feel about that kind of previous lifetime, get out of jail free card, and sort of the uncomfortable fact that their daughter comes from the future to fall in love with her father. it's an anime. Look, there are weird things in it. Now, I was kind of Sailor Mooning it, but as you can see, there is a reason that I particularly cut out the legend that you will get in the kits. It's just easy for me to have in my little Tupperware basket of, this project's yarn or thread, and pull it out when I need to see what those colors are. And with the organizer, it's just very, very easy for me. Now, it's not for everyone. I know some people are like, you cut from the pattern. That's just how I do it. You don't have to, but it does make it easy for me. And you could probably just fold the pattern, but, I get to use scissors. Now, I will say, of all the animes, Sailor Moon is one of the lighter ones. It very much emphasizes friendship and the power of love, and it's got really cheesy 80s music, early 90s power ballads. So, it's definitely got some things. I would research it fully before you watch it, or let kiddos watch it, because, every parent is going to have different standards. But it was just a fun way when I was in middle school, and pleasantly plump with a headgear and newly grown. The chest fairy visited me over the summer and blessed me with just over the shoulder boulder holder type boobs that I had no idea, not even training boobs. So, Sailor Moon made me think, well, she's a spaz and she can, save the world. So, if you are out there and you're a young kiddo and you've stumbled on this craft channel for reasons I can't quite fathom, even if you feel like the most ridiculous middle schooler in the entire world and that no one will ever get you, I promise you, you will find your tribe. You will. Never stop being weird. You're gonna find your tribe. Now, as I said, there are many different styles of kits. I was just beyond stoked that I could find Sailor Moon kits, so I've kind of just found my genre and stayed there. But there are Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, very big representation from Disney characters. Those don't tend to be my genres, the Disney characters, as much, but I have done a Star Wars and other things. Now, this is probably the last video that will be with the older camera. I have got a whole new batch of videos that I'll be recording this week while I am all alone in a hotel for the Dollywood meetup. So I'll be taking my laptop and working there. But there you go. I did want to just show you how I use the thread organizer. I find it to be incredibly helpful, but now that's the one thing I have noticed with this kit, and I think it's more a user me error than the kit having less good thread. I tend to get into a zone where I'm not as careful when I separate my thread. I'm sure other Inside Craftian part chaos demons can understand, but that's the only thing I've noticed as far as quality, and I'm pretty sure it's more of a user error type thing. Now, I will be adding longer videos in a separate playlist that just has this audio in the background sped up to ×3, so you can watch the entire, I usually record about 2 hours sped up 2-3 times. Just if you would rather not hear me babble on and on, you can, make use of that. But I do want to warn you that it's essentially the same. It's just going to be a larger batch, just the larger batch videos sped up, and no talking. That's a way if you're not really a fan of me jibber jabbering the entire time, you can keep up with the project And or if you just want to see it, watch it as it gets done, and then um, pop back for commentary videos when we get to the washout, finish kind of parts. Now, like I said, I do hope to get this done in about a month. I am quite prolific. Like I may or may not. I don't video all of my sessions. Sometimes I do craft for, tension relief, and I find that it's still relaxing, but it's a little more uh, kind of work when I'm thinking about the camera and zooming. So not all of the progress on this particular project will be videoed, but a good majority of it will. I do need, with the kind of coverage I do on my other channel, I do need a little bit of an outlet. If you are into true crime, shameless self promotion insert here. And thank you for, sticking with me for so long. But if you are into wacky news headlines and news that doesn't tell you what to think, just asks you to think, I have a morning news show on my other channel, Mo in the Deep End, every weekday morning at 8 a.m. And I do the daily headlines, true crime stories, and the absurd. I find all the absurd. And, I don't have a political bent on that show, anything like that. And we also cover trials. So if you're into true crime, if you're a craftian and true crimean, I could be your one-stop shop, or you could give me a shot. I'm not the greatest at self-promotion, but I am going to end the video right about here. And thank you, Inside Craftians, for your support. And I hope you are enjoying these small improvements I'm making. I am working hard to bring you, ever improving content. So thank you guys so much for hanging with me. And may all your crafting projects go on without orphan squares. Bye, you guys.